Hi, we're going to talk about rearranging formulas in this session, in this short video. So a formula, for instance, could be something that looks like x equals 2y. That's a formula. And I want to rearrange it, so I want to make either y the subject. So I need to get y on its own. So there's some golden rules that we need to think about. I tend to view formulas as a sort of a formula as an equation is like a set of scales. We have a left-hand side and we have a right-hand side. And all the idea of the equals is that the left equals the right. So whatever we do, and this is the golden rule, whatever we do to this side, we've got to make sure we do to this side. So if I add something to this side, I've got to add something to this side. Or if I multiply something on this side, I've got to multiply by the same amount on this side. So that's the golden rule. So let's take through a few examples to illustrate how to rearrange formulas, or transpose as they call it. Right, so I've got two formulas here, two examples I'm going to take through, and I'm going to try and make x the subject. So I want to get x on its own. At the moment, y is the subject, y is on its own, so I now want to get my x on the subject. So the thing is, I'm going to start with, I'm going to think that, oh, here I've got y equals 7 minus 2x. So if I want to get x on its own, I want also to make x positive, because positive numbers are better to deal with or easier to deal with than negative numbers. So what do I need to do to this bit to make it positive? I'm going to essentially cancel it out. So I'm going to try and move that over there. And I'm going to have, therefore, y plus 2x equals 7. Okay? So that's dealt with the negative bit. I like positive numbers, not negative numbers for my subjects. Now I want to get rid of the y. So to get rid of the y, I'm going to minus y. That means they'll cancel out. So over here, I've got to do exactly the same to this side. So I'm going to have 2x equals 7 minus y. And now I want to get x on its own. At the moment, it's x times 2. So to get rid of the times 2, to cancel out the multiply by 2, I'm going to divide by 2. So I have to do to this side, and I have to do exactly the same to that side. So that's simply then x equals 7 minus y divided by 2. So that now is x as the subject, and I have rearranged this equation to there, where x is the subject. This one is much simpler because I haven't got a minus number to start with. So firstly, if I look at this, I want to get x on its own. Let's get rid of the minus 7 to start with. So to get rid of the minus 7, I will add 7. Therefore, those two counter each other out. So I'm going to have y plus 7 equals 2x. And again, I now want x on its own. So and this is multiplied by 2. So to get rid of the multiplied by 2, I do the opposite. So I'm going to divide everything by 2. So I'm going to have y plus 7 divided by 2 equals x. And that is the solution for rearranging that equation. So the principle holds all the way through. So another example is using, of course, because it doesn't have to be x and y, so these are different indicators. This time I want v, this part, to be the subject. So here I can see that w equals 2 times v divided by 3. So if I want to rearrange that to get v the subject, firstly, let's get the divided by 3 out of the way. So if it's divided by 3, I can counterbalance that by timesing both sides by 3. So that gives me 3y equals 2v. Now if I want v on its own again, the next stage is to think, how do I get rid of the 2 times? I divide by, so I'm going to do 3w divided by 2 equals v. And that is this equation rearranged, but now I make v the subject. So if I wanted to write it so it looks smarter, I go v equals 3 times w divided by 2. Thank you.